What's goody, Shellitronnn here, and I'm back at again with a brand new video. I've been gone for a minute. A lot's changed. You can see we have a new little setup here, a little bit different than I usually do. This may or may not be what I usually do from now on. It probably won't be, but we're trying things out. I just built a new computer. Look, it should have been done a week ago. I had to do a lot of different things, jump through so many different loops to figure out how to do this the right way. The point is, we are now back. We're going to get back down to making videos all the time, live streams. Last year, I only did 3 or 4 mock drafts. This year, we're doing a bunch of mock drafts and talking about free agency signings, guys who might get let go, a lot of possibilities for team building, and talking about what this team may look like not only next year or this upcoming season, but coming up for the future years as well. And there's no other place to start talking about the Carolina Panthers than the topic of Cam Newton. And as you guys might have known already, this came out just yesterday. And usually I don't have a chance to see people's thoughts on this and like get a general feel for what the reaction is to these kind of things in the news, because usually when I see things happening, I make a video on it and I'm getting my first reactions from people on my own video or looking around after I already give my opinion. So I've seen a few people's reactions to this, and I've seen some reviews on what David Tepper said in this slight interview he did in the locker room. But I'm going to play the video right here so you can hear what he says. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts, my opinions on what David Tepper said about Cam Newton just yesterday. Let's hear it from the man himself.
Said again and again and again about it's a question of how healthy his foot and otherwise. And that's still the number one overwhelming thing, to see how healthy he is and how we can figure out when he's healthy or not. And, everything comes from that.
Dave, have other teams reached out inquiring about his trade possibility, if he's available for trade? And if so, was that something that you'd be open for?
I could ask Nicole. She answers the phone in her house, but no, I haven't heard about that. So,
Cam said he absolutely would be back this year at the Super Bowl.
did you talk to Nicole? I told you.
I'm just saying that Cam's saying he'll absolutely be
She's
back.
kind of short, so I can't know.
So if he says he's absolutely going to be back, and he was inspired by conversations with you and Rule, where do you stand? Will you think he'll be back?
Listen, I'm not a doctor. And I said it a million times. Is he healthy? And how does? He's not a doctor. So there's a lot of different things can happen. But first is he healthy? Tell me that, and then we can talk.
There's a lot he said here in this video. A lot of the same questions that we hear a lot from the same reporters. On one hand, you can kind of feel for the dude because he gets the same questions every single week. And it's got to be kind of like just disgusting to keep talking about every single day you get in front of a camera. But it's a topic of your former MVP, Super Bowl runner-up, quarterback, franchise guy, obviously the most talented player in your team's kind of short history. So you can understand, any quarterback news for any team, whether you're a really good team or a really bad team, is going to be the biggest news of all. We all know it's a quarterback league in the NFL. But this video specifically right here, I can see both sides of the coin, because when you understand, the first thing you see in the first glance watching this video, it's only 59 seconds. The first thing you understand is David Tepper is being very non-committal about Cam Newton. And at first you think to yourself, wait, that's an extremely bad thing. Why won't David Tepper say that he is committed to Cam Newton? This man, David Tepper, does not care about Cam Newton at all. It sounds like he wants to trade him. But if you think about what he's actually saying, if you think about the words he's using and the situation the team is in and Cam is in right now, it starts to make a little bit more sense. And as a general rule, when you're talking about the future of some players on your team, you don't want to show your hand so quickly right now. It is really only February. And the fact of the matter is, Cam is not 100% healthy at this very second. He only just now got the surgery on his foot a month ago. He's not going to be healthy until March. And he's not going to be in football shape in March, but he's not actually even healthy right now as it stands. And from a football perspective, from a team building perspective, and as a money situation for the team with very, very limited cap room this season and a whole lot of holes to fill of starters. There are some backup roles to fill, but there's a lot of starting positions on this team that need to be filled, It's not just a matter of saying, hey, Cam, we want you on the team, so now you're on the team. It's a matter of, hey, Cam, are you healthy? Cool. What kind of contract do you want, and what kind of contract can the team afford? Now, David Tepper, he's mentioned, someone asked him about trade rumors and like trade talks for other teams. He can't talk about that because it's not free agency yet. We haven't reached that point of the year in the offseason, so it would be tampering for David Tepper to even be talking to other teams about trading, about doing any other kind of stuff like that with Cam. Now, we obviously understand every single team is tampering. Everyone's having conversations. No one cares about tampering rules, and you know, this man, David Tepper, has money. Every single owner. David Tepper's the richest one, but every single owner would laugh in the face of any kind of tampering fine. But just because you have the money to do it, to pay it off, you don't want to just go around being open about tampering. It's just a bad look in general. He cannot admit to any kind of trade talks. Even if he says no to them, he can't say, yeah, the Bears called us to trade, but I said no to them. It's like an unspoken rule. Everyone's tampering. You can't speak on it, and he can't admit to it. But the biggest thing he said in this video, in this clip right here, he said, is Cam healthy? If you can tell me Cam is healthy, then let's talk. Now, for a lot of fans, and even people who aren't fans of the Panthers, they're seeing this and saying, wait, if you know he's healthy, if he's guaranteed 100% sure to be healthy, you're saying let's talk, not let's sign the dotted line right now, go out there and play? That sounds like you're trying to move on from Cam Newton. You don't believe in Cam Newton. I'm not so sure if that's what David Tepper is saying here. Now, y'all know how I feel about Cam. I think that there's only two ways to look at this. One, if Cam were to come back on this team, I would not want Cam to play on the last year of his deal. The only time a franchise wants their franchise quarterback to play on the last year of their deal is if they 100% believe they are strong contenders, maybe even favorites, to not only make the playoffs, not only have a deep playoff run, but win the Super Bowl, and they're okay with moving away from that quarterback later on. Or you just don't want him on your team anymore, get that last year and say, okay, you're gone, you're out of here. It makes no sense for the team or the player, meaning the quarterback, to play the last year of their contract without having an extension in place. Think about it this way. If Cam goes out there and plays the worst football of his life, he gets hurt week 2. You just paid $20 million for a quarterback who just ended up hurt again. But on the flip side, if Cam goes out and plays the best football of his entire career, better than 2015, and we don't win the Super Bowl, which he could have a really great year statistically, and we still end up 8-8, 7-9, 6-10. He could have a great year statistically. We saw Jameis Winston have the most yards in the league, have the second most touchdowns in the league, had a lot of picks, but Jameis Winston did have a very decent year statistically. Interceptions are horrible, but I mean his counting numbers. Dak Prescott, 8-8 season for his team. He has some really great numbers. So we know that quarterbacks can have great numbers on very disappointing seasons for the team as a whole. So Cam can go out there and have the best season of his entire career, not have any more years on his contract, and then what happens next? He's an unrestricted free agent. The question becomes, if another team can outbid us for Cam, who's to say that Cam does not accept $40 million a year for 5 years from some other team who sees him play like, whoa, Cam, we can offer you more than the Panthers could possibly do it. You had that great season last year. You didn't win a ring, but we're actually a quarterback away from greatness. This team right now, the Panthers, aren't exactly a quarterback away. In fact, we're not just one position away. We're not just 2 positions away. We're probably several positions away from making the playoffs, let alone having a deep playoff run, meaning at the very least, conference championship game. When he says, let's talk, he means, what kind of money are we talking here? you don't exactly win championships by, let's face it, let's not call Cam Newton a injury-prone quarterback, because he's not. His whole career, over his whole decade of being in the NFL, he is not an injury-prone guy. But over the last 3 seasons, he has been prone to injury. You can say it's only been 2 injuries, his shoulder and his foot, but he got his shoulder hurt, got surgery, got that shoulder hurt again, got surgery, and then the following year, when we did not actually get a chance to fully see how good that shoulder was, because we can look at the statistics of Cam's 2 games this past season, they weren't that great. Honestly, let's be real about that. We didn't really get a chance to see just how healthy that shoulder was going to be, and only getting a 2-game sample size is not all that great. But after that, he injured his foot. And it's not just about him having the 2 shoulder injuries, the 3 surgeries, and then the Lee Frank injury, which is extremely serious. It isn't a broken bone in his toe, turf toe. It's not a twisted ankle or a sprain or a strain or whatever. A Liz Frank injury is extremely serious. We are not 100% sure that Cam is going to last. Forget just this next upcoming season. Think about 4 or 5 years from now. Those are the kind of things you have to look at when talking about this situation right now. It's about the contract right here, because as a franchise, you don't want to let Cam go into this next year without having some sort of extension in place that gives you the kind of insurance you're okay with shouldering no matter what happens. Think about it like this. If the Panthers were to sign him right now, his value monetarily is probably as, air quote, low as it's going to get. And if he has a great year next year, you already have him on contract. And then with the CBA coming up again, that's going to be more money for players. If he has a good year, his stock's going to go way up. And if we have to pay more for Cam, that's less money for other people. And you want to pay your quarterback, obviously. But you also want to build a team around your quarterback. And we've seen some teams pay their quarterback and then be way too broke to fix other things on the team to make that team a winning team. So you understand that there's a balance to it. If David Tepper announces publicly that if Cam Newton is healthy, he is 100% our quarterback moving forward for not just this year, but for years to come, and then Cam walks into the negotiations and says, okay, I need $40 million for the next 4 years, maybe 5 years. Let's make it happen right now. Then what do? Can you really give a man $40 million every year? That's just a starting number, but the market's around $35 million right now, and you can believe that if you don't get it done this year, this is at least going to be 36, 37 this upcoming year coming up, with Pat Mahomes coming up, the CBA, all the other stuff coming up. If he says he wants $37 to $40 million a year, and you say no, now you're a liar. You just said you liked him. You just said you believed in him. But now you're saying you don't think he's worth what the market would bear? So how much faith did you really have in him? And in the court of public opinion, you are going to lose every single time. But then, what if you say, okay, well, I already told them in public. I told the press that I believe in Cam and I need him on my team. We have to give him that $40 million a year. You give him that money, and now you're strapped trying to figure out a way to pay other guys that you need on the team while also bringing in more players at the same time and fill those holes that the team has. It's an extremely, extremely hard thing to balance in a hard cap league. You can't just say, we want you on the team, come play for us. There is other things at play. There's more than just saying, we like you as a player, wear the black and blue, play on Sunday. I just hope that this is the time they actually look at the medical records and are actually very serious about looking at Cam from a medical perspective. Because when we had this man Cam playing all those games in 2018 with a bum shoulder, you telling me not a single doctor in the Panthers organization saw Cam? They couldn't tell his shoulder was dead? We all knew that shoulder was not good. He should not have played a game after, the Browns game was at week 13? After the Browns game, either week 13 or 14 of 2018, he should not have been on the field ever again. And then You're telling me that not a single doctor or coach. Now, Cam said he could not walk or jog around a practice football field before games. But you're telling me not a single doctor or coach noticed him in pain? At the beginning of this season, he played not only the Bucs game, but also the Rams game. Those got mixed up. Played the Rams game first and the whole Bucs game. And you tell me no one noticed? So there are people who are letting Cam play hurt and play injured that are making these injuries possibly worse than they have to be. So I just hope this time someone takes it seriously. Let me know all your thoughts on this topic right here about David Tepper and Cam Newton. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.